Hello mga kababayan, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Laruan ni Obi-Wan. For today's review, we're going to take a look at Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron. This is Boba Fett's starship, or known as Slave 1. This vehicle set is a Walmart exclusive. So let's do a quick 360 of the box packaging for product identification at your local Walmart. For the $32 price mark for this set, we have the Slave 1 vehicle and we have two figures. So we have Boba Fett and Fennec Shand. Included with this set is a very cool diorama or background piece. So we have the Boba Fett and the Fennec Shand micro figures. So actual measurement, so within the 1-inch mark, compared against a G.I. Joe classified series backpack from the Spirit Iron Knife, and against the same line of figure Luke Skywalker, the X-Wing Micro Squadron set. So within the 1-inch mark. So just like the Luke Skywalker figure, wherein you could raise the arms and raise the legs, we don't have any articulation points on the head, on the waistline or anything. It's just for accommodation inside the cockpit. So you have the Boba Fett figure, which shares the same articulation points. Let's take the Fennec Shand figure. Same articulation points. Wow, really micro figures. The only gimmick for the Boba Fett figure is you could take out the flight pack and attach it to the Slave 1 weapons rack, which I'm going to show later on. Okay, so for length, it's about 8 inches, height of about 3.25 inches, and wingspan of about 7.5 inches. So how does the Slave 1 compare or scale up to the X-Wing? So for display purposes, I think the scale is just right. So right out of packaging, you would immediately notice that the special feature of this vehicle set would be the way that the wings and the pilot or the cockpit area would reposition in flight mode. And in park mode, this way, when it's lying flat on a certain area, the wings would stabilize and the cockpit would reposition in a certain way. But for flight mode, that is it. That's the special feature, just by gravity, no electronics required. Now there is a hidden feature in this vehicle set that somehow I just stumbled upon. And as I was trying to fish out the Fennec Shand action figure, so I was really putting my fingers in this set. So somehow I found a way to really straighten the wings out in flight mode in a permanent pose like this, that the wings won't be flapping around. So just by accident I did this, and I immediately noticed that the wings and the cockpit area stayed in place. So as you could see, no flapping around of the cockpit area. So the sound that you are hearing is just going to be this armory piece that is included, so nothing is really broken on the set. So if you wish to go back to the original gimmick of having a cockpit area that somehow would just change according to the position of the vehicle set, just apply pressure on this hollow cavity and release tension, and there you once again you have a gravity driven wing and cockpit area. So I hope this helps. So the Slave 1 has room for 3 micro figures. To access the cockpit area, you have a little space over here wherein you could pry the cockpit area open with your fingernails. So this space, and you have room for 3 micro figures. So which I also included the Luke Skywalker action figure with Boba Fett and Fennec Shand. So aside from the feature of the opening cockpit and the gravity enforced cockpit and wing, we also have a compartment area, which is the special gimmick of this Slave 1 set. So we have fingernail access points to open that compartment area. So fingernail access point number 1 and fingernail access point number 2. I suggest to start with fingernail access point number 1. We have that area open, so we're ready to access fingernail access point number 2. And open that door, and there you go. So we have access towards that special compartment, the armory, or the living area of this vehicle set. Okay, so we are ready to take a look at the access area or living area of this vehicle set. So we have the ramp down and this area open to reveal the armory of Boba Fett. So we have a special area here wherein you could possibly place the flight pack of Boba Fett. So just hook it to this point over here. So that is how it looks from the side, and let's take a look from the back side. So from the rear of the vehicle, that is how it looks. So just for fun, we have the Buzz Lightyear action figures from the XL01 and 02, and we have R2-D2. So just a little bit of diorama thing going on with the open compartment system. So as for details on the paint scheme of this vehicle set, I really can't complain with regards to the execution of the paint job. So as for the areas where it needs to be really nicely weathered, it is nicely weathered. So for the wings, since this area is not painted, so weathering is not needed. These yellow areas over here, they actually look weathered to up close and personal. So it's not just yellow, but we have flakes of gray on this area too. So with this painted area on the wing, so nice execution on the paint job of this set. Nicely weathered, looks old and battered. So the only area that we haven't explored on this vehicle set would be the undercarriage or the main propulsion system. So we have a cover over here that reveals, once you fold it open, the seismic charge or the bomb that the Slave 1 could possibly eject and detonate. So this thing over here, that is the only thing that needs to be possibly painted in this set. We have nice details on the thrusters of the Slave 1, details on the inner mechanisms of the engine bay. So these are the details of the undercarriage, where the whole vehicle would rest once it is parked. So really nice set. Actually, my only other complaint would be the exposure of screw points, but that could be easily fixed with a little bit of putty. So just apply putty on there. Anyway, you won't be disassembling this piece unless you're going to make it a custom piece where you're going to take this apart and paint it. But for me personally, majority of this at the time of this vehicle set is going to be laying flat, because majority of the details that I want to see would be on this area. So this ends my review of the Micro Galaxy Squadron Slave 1. So if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and see you on the next action figure or vehicle set review.